Welcome back, Keepers. If you are new to Morimens or are tired that your teams fall apart in difficult fights, this guide is for you. I know how overwhelming team building can be at the beginning of the game, with so many characters and so many synergies available. So today I am going to break down my 3 pillars of solid team building, and by the end of this video you will stop guessing and having a hard time organizing your awakeners, and you will start building teams that feel intentional, consistent, and strong. Let's begin. First, pick your win condition. In Morimens, teams succeed when every card, every synergy, and every realm choice point to the same outcome. This is important because realms or units are built around supporting certain mechanics. Playing a mixed, no clear win condition team often means that you have 4 characters pulling in 4 different directions. Here's an example of a common win condition and how to build a team around it. This is a poison build. Poison also means defeating your opponent slowly. Early on, this mechanic is considered difficult to pull off as many of the units that exceed at applying poison are considered premium, like for example G-Doll. However, there are some standard awakeners that can help you understand these builds better. Here's an example of a low-cost poison composition with only standard awakeners. This run was completed on D-Zone Alert 3, which is perfectly reachable for new players within a few weeks of starting the game. Nymph, Varus, and Karen are awakeners that include poison application on their kit, which means that on this setup, you are not going to waste a turn without advancing towards your win condition. Every single aspect of this build has been selected to benefit the poison mechanic, from the Covenants to the Wheels of Destiny, and even the posse, and Kakus is here to tie the whole team together. Since he's one of the strongest standard awakeners, his job is to protect the rest of your team while they destroy your opponent's health bar. Besides poison, you can also focus on the other battle mechanics of the game, like counter and shields or pure damage burst, but always keep in mind your win condition. Any turn where you are not accumulating counters or building up your strength buffs is a wasted turn. Be consistent with your rotations. Every unit on your team should have a defined role, and you should be able to describe it in one sentence. Between attackers, defenders, and supports, a good build should be a combination of these roles, all working together to win the fight. A team with 4 attackers is no good since you will be vulnerable against enemy attacks, and the same goes for a team made only of support units. Without a finisher, fights can go on forever, resulting in your defeat. Now, here's an example of a low-investment winning team, also on D-Zone Alert 3, that covers the most common roles on a basic build. 2 units are considered premium, but none have any enlightenments, and we also included 2 free awakeners. First, we have Pollux, or Damage Dealer, or DPS. Damage dealers are your primary source of damage. Everything else on the team exists to enable them, protect them, or let them act more often. Their job is simple: hit hard and hit fast. These awakeners are usually the focal point of the entire team. When you are identifying a DPS, look for units with strong scaling, reliable damage, or abilities that directly support your win condition, like Height Burst for nuke teams, consistent damage over time application for poison builds, or punish mechanics for counter setups. Because your DPS is so important, most of your resources should go into them first. Levels, wheels, and upgrades. If your DPS goes down or can't act, your team usually collapses shortly after. That's why supports and survival units exist. Not to outshine the DPS, but to make sure they can do their job as often as safely as possible. Aegis is our support unit on this example. These awakeners are responsible for enable the rest of the team. They buff allies, debuff enemies, or recharge the Aliemus bar, and most importantly, they make your win condition actually function. A good support doesn't need to deal damage themselves. Their value comes from how much stronger they make everyone else. Some supports increase damage over time potency, like Gidol, while others reduce Aliemus cooldowns or accelerate key turns, like Winkle. In this example, Aegis' job is to constantly apply the debuff Vulnerable, which is vital to enable Pollux's damage. And on top, she provides the special ability Petrify that always comes in handy. When evaluating a support, ask one simple question: what does this unit enable? If they don't clearly push your strategy forward, more damage, faster setups, or safer turns, they are probably not the right fit. In most teams, supports are the glue that holds everything together, and without them, even the strongest damage dealer will struggle. Next, we have our tanks, or survival units. Castor is responsible for keeping the team alive. Tank units provide shields, healing, damage mitigation, or death resistance, and their main job is to buy you time while your damage ramps up or your big nukes are getting ready. Tanks are especially important in teams that rely on damage over time or setup heavy strategies, where winning doesn't happen immediately. Their value isn't in how much damage they deal, but in how long they can keep the team standing. When choosing a tank, look for consistency and reliability. Units that can protect the team every fight, not just once. A strong survival unit turns risky setups into safe clears, and without one, even the best strategy can collapse before it even comes online. No survival, no setup, no win. Finally, we have our hybrid awakeners. Hybrid units like Erika are great. They do a bit of everything: some damage, some support, and sometimes even survival tools. That makes them very flexible and extremely useful, especially early on or when your roster is limited. That flexibility also comes with a risk. If you relied on a hybrid as your only source of a core effect, like damage over time application, team buffs, or survivability, your strategy can fall apart in harder content. Hybrids shine best when they support a focused team, not when they are forced to carry it alone. Remember, Morimens is a game about synergies and teamwork. Strong teams are built around clear roles working together, and hybrids are the most effective when they fill gaps and smooth our weaknesses rather than replacing your core units. The posse is not just a bonus or an emergency button. It's a team-wide multiplier. It enhances everything your team is already trying to do, which is why choosing the right posse is just as important as choosing the right units. Every posse provides a powerful effect once its meter is charged, and the key is timing. You don't want to activate it randomly, you want to use it when it most amplifies your win condition. Right before your damage dealer unleashes a nuke, after you stack damage over time effects, or when your survival unit needs to stabilize the fight. A good rule of thumb is this: offensive teams want posse effects that increase damage or turn acceleration. Stall or damage over time teams benefit more from sustain, protection, or control focused posse effects. When your posse matches your strategy, your entire team spikes in power at the same time. When it doesn't, even a strong roster can feel inconsistent. This is why great teams don't just win, they win cleanly, because every piece is working towards the same goal. If team building has ever felt confusing or overwhelming, that's normal. Morimens throws a lot of options at you very early, but once you stop trying to use everything at once and start building with purpose, the game becomes much clearer. From now on, when you look at your roster, you shouldn't feel lost. You should be able to ask simple questions. What is my win condition? What role does this unit play? And how does my posse help me close the fight? Answer those three questions and you will be able to build consistent, reliable teams. Without guessing, without frustration, and without feeling stuck. And that's it for this video. This is the foundation. The next step is Covenants or Wheels of Destiny, high-level optimization we will cover in future videos. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment what is your favorite Morimens mechanic. Do you have a favorite build, or is there an awakener you would like me to cover next? Ring that bell if you want more Morimens content. And as always, may the silver key continue to guide you.